Hey guys, what's up? We're back with another video. So just a quick update since this is like a bigger video on the main channel. If you haven't already, go follow my TikTok. Same thing as this. It's just I do shorter single issue comics, and I might try maybe episode reviews or something of TV shows or something, just to get like more regular content out. So I'm not doing uh, bigger videos like all the time since those are harder to make with my schedule. But it's winter break, so here's a big review. Uh, I know there's Black Panther and there's like Black Adam and all sorts of things happening in the comic book realm. There's news, especially with DC. It's like rapid fire with this and that and all sorts of stuff. But I might that'll be another thing I'll do on the TikTok is kind of go over some of the comic book news that we have going on. But right now, it's Wednesday. So Netflix released a show that was spearheaded, sort of. I guess maybe not exactly, but that was the big advertisement. It was directed by Tim Burton. It's a Wednesday Addams spinoff of the Addams Family TV show from the 60s, which is of course based on the uh, cartoons from Charles Addams back in the late 30s. So, is it good? Does it live up to the expectations of a usual Addams Family episode? Um, well, it's so in my opinion. Um, we have, of course, like the main cast. How do they do as the Addams? I would say Wednesday is, of course, the best since she's the main character. She kind of has to be the most accurate out of the bunch, or at least you would hope she is. I think she's fine. I'm sure there are people out there that would disagree with me. Leave your comments down below what you thought. But I generally thought it was okay. She was okay. Good actor at least. Of course, there were like maybe some things you might not want to do. But that's kind of one of the things I find interesting about like the recent adaptations of the Addams Family, like the animated one from 2019 to like 2021 ish, or 22. No, 21. Anyway, the animated one is what they've done is like take Wednesday and like make her not as spooky. Like uh, like in the first 2019 one, she like wears a like pink hair clip or something, and she has like a red balloon, and she goes out into like the world and finds it interesting. Which of course, like, because I would assume the writers are trying to like make her like a typical high school girl, right? Because they are trying to oppose authority. They're trying to oppose their parents. So the Addams are typically dark and spooky, mysterious. So she's being normal because she's opposing what her parents do. And of course, that's what they do here in some respects, but not like exactly like the animated version. Because whenever Morticia and Gomez drop her off, she's very like hostile to her parents and like, I don't want any part of this school because I'm not going to follow in your footsteps, that sort of stuff. But she is still sort of like a typical Wednesday figment, a sort of a caricature of what we would imagine Wednesday to be like. So, overall, I think she's good. She is given like some psychic ability in this one, which is interesting. Because I know also in the sequel to the 2019 Addams Family, there was like scientific sort of like experiments and like crazy stuff. So it's like it's not out of the realm of canon, but it's a little out there for me. There's also like this ancestor Goody Adams, and there is the plot line of like the original founders of the Nevermore Academy and the town, like getting rid of the outcasts. and it has to do with, like, racial justice, sort of reparation, that sort of stuff. That I personally thought was, like, fine. It fit the Addams family sort of motif of being different and standing out, and uh, that sort of stuff. Overall, I would say my main complaints are some of the writing, because it has that, like, Riverdale sort of, like, and also with that point is, like, it's like mainly the first episode is the most egregious, and then it gets better as the show goes on. It gets less annoying as the show goes on. But the writing in the first episode, like Riverdale, like this, they do, like, so many references and, like, technology things, like get a phone, be on Instagram, get a TikTok, get a Snapchat, and it, like, makes me want to rip my ears off, because it's like, I can understand wanting to write a show, like, in the modern day, and that's the setting, sure, but I also feel like it really dates a show, like, if not done well. And I feel like most of the time it's hard to do well, because shows like this are, like, made by executives, not like millennials or Gen Zers or whatever. Like, I guess they are made by millennials, but they're not made by our generation, my generation. Even I'm kind of, like, outdated, because when I had my roommates last year in college, they were 18, and I didn't really get most of the references. So it's like, uh, um, and then also I had a problem with Gomez and Morticia. Fester, he was better than them. Same with Pugsley. Pugsley doesn't have much to do, but he's okay. Um, Gomez and Morticia, I feel like, were kind of not their usual selves. I know there was a bit of, like, race related, like, arguing, bickering on the internet. I'm not here to talk about that. But I do know that, like, I usually see Gomez as, like, fiery, I guess would be a good way to put it. He's always energetic. And this one, they both seem kind of, like, lazy, sleepy almost, which bothered me. But overall, they were fine. Not like your Raul Julia or your um, guy from the 60s who I can't remember, John Aston. And overall, I thought the mystery was fine. Wasn't really expecting who they revealed to be the monster. But overall, I thought it was fine. I do think it's a little weird that Tim Burton only directed, like, it looks like maybe half the episodes. So it's kind of weird. But overall, give it like maybe like a B plus. Like, there's some work to be done, but overall, I enjoyed the show. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next review. Peace.